Scene opens with a fast-paced montage. Quick shots of an office. Fingers typing furiously on keyboards, coffee being poured, a clock ticking rapidly. The overall mood is tense but energetic. Have you ever felt the pressure of a deadline so tight it feels like the world is closing in? That feeling of a ticking clock, where every second counts and the mountain of work just seems to grow taller. This is a story about that pressure, but it's also a story about what happens when a team decides to face that mountain together. Cut to Arif, a project manager, looking determined but stressed. He stands at the head of a meeting table. That morning at PT Cahaya Digital, the air was thick with tension. You could practically smell the coffee and the anxiety. Arif, the project manager, gathered his team. He knew the news he was about to deliver would be a bombshell. "Okay, team," he began, his voice firm. "Listen up. We have a massive task. The presentation for the new system has to be on the board's desk by Monday morning." He paused for effect. "We have exactly 3 days." The reaction was immediate. Dina, the team's brilliant but overworked designer, slumped in her chair. 3 days? She exclaimed, her voice a mix of disbelief and exhaustion. "Arif, I haven't even finished the revisions from yesterday's meeting." Next to her, Booty, the meticulous programmer, shook his head. "I'm still wrestling with a nasty bug in the report module. If we rush this, I'm genuinely worried about the quality. We could end up delivering a broken product." Arif held up a hand, acknowledging their concerns. "I hear you, I really do. But this isn't a request we can negotiate. It's a directive, straight from the top. So the question isn't if we can do it, but how we're going to do it." Scene shifts to a more collaborative setting. The team is huddled around a whiteboard, scribbling notes. The initial shock gave way to a problem-solving mindset. The blame game was off the table. Survival was the only option. It was Dina who broke the silence. "Okay, what if we stop thinking about this as one giant project and start breaking it down? We divide the work based on our strengths, pure focus. That might speed things up." Buddy's eyes lit up. "She's right. It's our only shot. I'll dedicate this entire afternoon to crushing that bug. No distractions. Dina, you focus on making that dashboard design shine. Arif, you can be our shield. Coordinate with marketing and keep any other distractions away from us." Arif nodded, a plan solidifying. "Good. That's a start. But we're missing a crucial piece. With this speed, we'll be making mistakes. We need a safety net. We need someone dedicated to quality control." Dina snapped her fingers. "What about Ronnie from the QA team? She's meticulous. Let's get her in here." A few moments later, Ronnie walked in, laptop in hand, a curious look on her face. "What's the emergency?" "Your message sounded like the office was on fire." Arif got straight to the point. "Ronnie, we're in a tight spot. We need you to be our final line of defense. Review everything before we submit it on Monday. Can you do it?" Ronnie was unfazed. She was used to chaos. "Of course. But I can't check for quality in a vacuum. I'll need a detailed, step-by-step checklist for every feature and design element." Booty immediately stepped up. "I'm on it. I'll draft the checklist format tonight and share it with everyone." Scene transitions to a late-night office. The room is dark, save for the glow of computer monitors and a single desk lamp. Empty coffee cups litter the desks. The sun went down, but the lights at PT Cahaya Digital stayed on. The city outside grew quiet, but inside their small corner of the office, keyboards clicked and minds whirred. It was 9 p.m. The initial adrenaline had faded, replaced by a quiet, shared exhaustion. Dina took a long sip of her cold coffee and leaned back, her eyes staring at the ceiling. "You know," she said softly, "sometimes I really wonder if this is worth it. Going home this late, feeling completely drained. For what?" Booty, who was debugging code with intense focus, paused. He looked over at her, his expression thoughtful. "I get it, but think about it. If we pull this off, the reputation of our team skyrockets. It shows we can handle anything." That has to count for something, right? Ronnie, who was cross-referencing her checklist with Buddy's latest code commit, chimed in. For me, it's not just about the reputation or the paycheck. We're building something that people will actually use. It solves a problem. It has value. That's what keeps me going. Arif, who had been quietly coordinating with the marketing team via email, turned to face them. A small smile touched his lips. Exactly, you've all hit on it. What makes work truly meaningful isn't the task itself, or even the success. It's the trust we have in each other. It's knowing that you're not in the trenches alone. When we stand together as a team, no challenge is too heavy to carry. His words hung in the air, a quiet reminder of their shared purpose. The exhaustion was still there, but it was now mixed with a renewed sense of camaraderie and determination. They weren't just colleagues anymore. They were a unit fighting for a common goal. Scene changes to a bright, formal meeting room. Executives in suits are seated around a large, polished table. Arif and his team are at the front, ready to present. Monday morning arrived. The air in the executive boardroom was a different kind of tense. It was clean, formal, and filled with high expectations. The team, running on caffeine and sheer willpower, stood ready. One of the senior executives nodded curtly. All right, let's begin. Arif, your team has the floor. What followed was a masterclass in preparation and teamwork. Arif presented the project's vision with clarity and confidence. Budi demonstrated the system, flawlessly navigating through modules that just days ago were riddled with bugs. And when Dina's dashboard design appeared on the screen, a low murmur of appreciation rippled through the room. It was clean, intuitive, and beautiful. The data was organized, the flow was logical, and Rani's quality checks had ensured there were no loose ends. When they finished, the room was silent for a moment. The head executive leaned forward, a genuinely impressed smile on his face. This is excellent work, he said, his voice carrying weight. We gave you an impossible deadline, and you not only met it, you delivered a product of exceptionally high quality. Congratulations to all of you. Final scene. The team is back in their workspace, slumping into their chairs. They look exhausted but incredibly relieved. They share small smiles and quiet laughs. After the meeting, the team collapsed back at their desks. The adrenaline drained away, leaving a profound sense of relief. The marathon was over. Dina let out a long theatrical sigh. Finally. That felt like 3 days of a marathon without any sleep. Budi chuckled softly. But it's experiences like this, the ones that push us to our absolute limit, that make us stronger as a team. Rani nodded in agreement, packing up her laptop. And it taught us that even the heaviest workload feels lighter when you re-sharing the burden. Arif leaned against the table, looking at his triumphant, exhausted team. That's the secret, isn't it? He said. Work isn't just about the tasks on your to-do list. It's about the people you work with. It's about crossing the finish line together. They proved that with the right team, even a Monday morning deadline isn't so scary after all. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content about teamwork and finding meaning in what you do. See you in the next video.